Hey, my lovely English learners. This is Silly, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. Whether you're walking, cooking, driving, or relaxing on the couch, thank you for choosing to spend this time together. Today we're going deep into a question so many of us ask ourselves, quietly and repeatedly. Why am I still not fluent? You've studied vocabulary, you've gone through grammar lessons, you've listened to native speakers, but fluency still feels far away. That's what we're going to explore and fix in this episode. Let's get started. Most of us were taught to study English like we study history. We sit with a book, we memorize, we review. But English is not history. It's not just something to know, it's something to do. You see, English is a performance. It's like music, like dance, like swimming. You don't learn to swim by reading about water. You have to get in. Same with English. If your learning doesn't involve actually using the language, speaking, listening, responding, then fluency will stay out of reach, no matter how many hours you put in. So let me ask you, are you speaking English out loud every day? Are you listening to English that's fast, messy, real, not textbook perfect? Are you making space for your brain to think in English? If the answer is no, or even sometimes, then that's the very first shift we make. Fluency doesn't come from input alone, it grows from output. You have to use the language to own it, but using English regularly brings up another issue: fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of not being understood. So many learners say, "I understand, but I can't speak," or "I can speak, but I'm scared to." They think confidence is something you either have or don't, but confidence is a skill, and like any skill, you build it with repetition. You don't wait for confidence, you train it. Here's how. Start by talking to yourself. Yes, really, out loud. Narrate your actions, describe your surroundings, say what you're thinking, then record yourself. Talk about your day, your dream vacation, your favorite food. Play it back. You might cringe, but keep listening. This is your voice in English. It deserves to be heard. And over time, it will start to sound better, smoother, stronger. Confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing, especially when you feel unready. And that brings us to one of the biggest traps: learning without a plan. So many of us wake up and say, "Okay, I should study English today." Then we open a YouTube video, check a grammar blog, try an app, maybe read 2 paragraphs and scroll away. That's not a plan, that's random activity. And random doesn't lead to results. If you want fluency, you need rhythm, structure, repetition. So here's a simple idea. Create a weekly routine that's small, realistic, and repeatable. Something like this. Monday, 10 minutes of listening to a podcast. Tuesday, 5 minutes of shadowing a speaker. Wednesday, write a short journal. Thursday, watch a short scene and repeat the sentences. Friday, record yourself and review weekend. Review new words, reflect, and rest. See how that feels? Simple, light, doable, but powerful. You're not asking, "What do I do today?" You already know. And that removes decision fatigue, which is one of the biggest reasons people give up. Fluency doesn't come from intensity, it comes from momentum. Now, speaking of momentum, let's shift to something most people ignore when learning English: your physical and mental environment. Because even with the best plan, if your surroundings are full of distractions, your brain won't lock in. So let's pause here. Look around you. Is your phone buzzing? Is the TV on? Are 10 tabs open? Your brain is trying to focus on English, but it's also scanning everything else. That means you're not fully in it. Here's the fix. Create a small, sacred English space. It could be 10 minutes in your bedroom with headphones. It could be a corner at the library. It could be the quiet moment after dinner, when the dishes are done. Clear the noise. Claim your focus. And if your schedule is chaotic, don't wait for the perfect time. Build it in. Start small. Make English part of your rhythm, not an afterthought. Because fluency isn't just a language journey, it's a lifestyle habit. Let's talk about one of the biggest blockers in fluency, the fear of making mistakes. It's deep, isn't it? That moment you want to speak, but then you hesitate. You feel your face getting hot. Your mind races. What if I say it wrong? And so you don't speak. You nod. You smile. And that moment passes. This is the fluency killer. Not lack of grammar. Not vocabulary. Fear. So what if we rewired that fear? Instead of thinking, I made a mistake, I failed, we think, I made a mistake. That means I tried. That means I'm learning. Mistakes are data. They show you where to grow. So here's something powerful you can do. Keep a mistake journal. Every time you mess up, write it down. What was the mistake? What did you learn? How would you say it next time? By writing it, you remove the shame. You turn the moment into a tool. Next, and this one really works, start tracking your growth. You might feel like you're not improving. But is that true? Only if you're measuring it. So let's start measuring. Record yourself once a week. Pick the same topic, your daily routine, a recent memory, a movie review. Speak for 1 or 2 minutes. Then, 1 week later, record it again. Try using better structure, new words, more confidence. Now compare. Even if you don't sound perfect, you'll notice change. And that change proves this: you're growing. Another thing you can do is keep a progress log. Each day, write what you did. Listen to a podcast, 10 minutes. Learned 3 new idioms. Watched a video and repeated the sentences. Spoke out loud about my day. Why do this? Because motivation fades, but evidence stays. On days when you feel stuck, look back. You'll see how far you've come, and you'll remind yourself, I'm not starting over. I'm still moving forward. Let's shift now to something even more internal, your definition of fluency. What does it mean to be fluent? Is it speaking fast? Is it never making mistakes? Is it sounding like a native speaker? A lot of people think so. But let's challenge that. What if fluency isn't about perfection, but about connection? You're fluent when you can say what you want to say. You're fluent when you can understand and respond. You're fluent when you can stay in the conversation, even when it's messy. So stop trying to be flawless. Try instead to be clear, to be present, to express yourself as you are, now, because that's what real fluency looks like. Let's take an example. You're in a conversation. You forget a word. You pause. You restart. But you keep going. That's fluency, because you didn't give up. You found a way. This is the mindset shift that will change your journey. You're not trying to sound native. You're training to communicate with confidence. That's more powerful and more honest. Now let's land this episode with one last stretch. Daily habits that build lasting fluency. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing something and doing it again tomorrow. So here's what I want you to try this week. Speak English out loud for 2 minutes a day. Shadow a native speaker for 5 minutes. Learn 3 new words and use them in a sentence. Record yourself once. Write 1 journal entry, even just a paragraph. And finally, reflect. At the end of the week, ask yourself, what felt easier? What was still hard? What do I want to repeat next week? This reflection is the glue. It connects your effort to your progress. Because we don't grow just by doing more. We grow by noticing what's working and building on it. Before we wrap up today, I want to bring everything we talked about into one simple message. You're already closer to fluency than you think. Fluency isn't a finish line. It's not something you wake up one day and suddenly have. It's something you build, 1 word, 1 sentence, 1 moment at a time. If you're listening to this right now, that means you care. You're showing up. And that's everything. Let me remind you, you don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to speak. You don't need a massive vocabulary. You just need the right words at the right moment. You don't have to be confident all the time. You just need to be brave enough to try, once, then again. Fluency grows in the trying, in the repeating, in the reflecting, in the moments when you show up even when you feel tired, busy, or unsure. So give yourself credit. You're not starting from zero. You're not late. You're not behind. You're in it. You're doing it. And you're doing great. Now, before we end, I'd love to leave you with a weekly challenge. Over the next 7 days, do one thing each day that uses English. Just one. It could be describing your breakfast in English, watching a video and repeating one sentence, reading one article out loud, talking to yourself about your plans, writing down something that made you smile, small, light, simple. Because it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, and doing it again tomorrow. If you want to take it even further, write down what you did. Keep track, celebrate it, and when you feel stuck, come back to this episode. Re-listen, refocus, reconnect. This is your journey. You set the pace, you choose the tools, you create the rhythm, and I'll be right here with you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for trusting me to guide you, and thank you for believing in your own growth. Until next time, this is Silly, cheering you on with every sentence you speak, every word you write, and every moment you keep going. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and above all, keep believing in yourself. Talk to you again soon.